one of those cases where we have to use a cosine law, but we're not given any angles. Okay, so you may have seen a reformulated version of it. I'll just write it out, the derivation of it, basically. So if I write the cosine law for, let's say, solving for side A, we have 2 BC times cosine of angle A. Okay, if I do the work now to isolate for cos A, you'll see how the second version of the cosine law, where it comes from. So I'm going to begin by just moving everything over to the other side. Well, I won't do that yet. Okay, so I moved the b squared and the c squared over, and I'll just write that in. Next, I'm going to divide everything by negative 2bc, and this will cancel out, and I'm left with a minus a squared minus b squared minus c squared over negative 2bc equals cosine of A. But usually we write this, first of all, cos A on the left-hand side, and this negative down here usually comes up to the top, and as a result makes the whole numerator negative, and I end up with b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. And now with this version of the cosine law, we can use it to solve this question for any angle. So let's start with let's start with angle A. Okay, this guy right here. I'm going to plug in b squared, which is, so this is b, this is c, this is a. So I'm going to go b squared, which is 15.2 squared. I'm going to have to move this stuff over, I think. So let's just put it over there. Plus c squared is 7.4 squared minus 11.6 squared all over 2 times, well, what's the b value? 15.2, and the c value is 7.4, and that's cosine of A. So what do I get? Let's do the math here on the calculator. I'm going to go 15.2, that's squared, plus 7.4, that's also squared, minus 11.6, that's squared. So there's my numerator, and I'm going to, I'll write it out first, 151.24. I'm going to divide that all by my denominator. So I got 15.2 times 7.4 times 2, 224.96. So if I do that, oops, let me try that again, 151.24 divided by 224.96. I get that decimal number there, which I won't bother writing out because I'm going to do the cos inverse of it anyways. And that gives you my A value. So A is going to be 48 degrees. I'll just round to the nearest degree. So there's my A value, 48 degrees. To solve for the B and the C value, well, I'm going to leave that as an exercise for you to do. You will notice you just have to use the sine law, okay, because now you have a matching pair here, and you can apply the sine law, or if you really wanted to, you could, apply the cosine law with, let's say, cos of B or cos of C, solve for the angle, and voila, there you have it. Okay, pretty straightforward. Once you get that first missing piece of information, the rest follows either by repetition or, some shorter method, which is always good.